Michaels, the legendary sports broadcaster, probably didn't realize that the fury he might unleash during an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel back in October when he suggested the NFL's coverage of Taylor Swift's presence at the games when her boyfriend, tight end Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs, was all being played up a little too much.
It's hard because people tune in to watch a football game.
Yeah.
I'm not doing Access Hollywood.
Cut to last week when the NFL announced he would not be calling the NFL playoffs this year. Many sports fans asking, ooh, so is it possible that Al Michaels is out over that? That somehow the Swifties ushered him out? Then check out these headlines, including from the New York Post, which reads, Al Michaels' Taylor Swift conspiracy theory emerges as he loses playoff gig. Joining us now on this and some other big controversies in the world of sports, Patrick McEnroe, former professional tennis player, ESPN analyst, and frequent media commentator. Sir, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
All right, is this one just made up? I mean, is this real?
This is pretty much made up,
It is.
I would say. I mean, let's give a little context to this.
Please.
Number one. First of all, Al Michaels is a legend. He called his first NFL game in 1973. He's called 11 Super Bowls. Only Pat Summerall's called the same amount, so that's the most of anyone. But he's like the guy who's president and the guy who wants to be president again is in his late 70s. He's 79. So we all know that in our business, in his business, maybe not as much in the political business, but you see where I'm going here, that your time comes at some point. Now, the bigger issue here is not so much that Taylor Swift, and I've got 3 teenage daughters, okay?
Right, so you have to be very careful.
When I turn on a football game on Sunday, they have 0 interest. When the Chiefs are playing now, all of a sudden they've got a little interest.
Right.
And the NFL has been unbelievable over the years at bringing entertainment and other things into what makes football in the NFL so popular. But Al Michaels has been pushed out by NBC. They made room for Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. That's their A team. So NBC has 4 playoff games, 3 of which are being called by Mike and Chris Collinsworth. And last year, Al Michaels did 1 of those games.
But this is less interesting
well, I understand, but
this is so much less interesting. I want you to tell me that the Swifties.
I'm trying to give you the facts.
All right.
But you are right. Do not cross the Swifties, okay? But it is entertainment.
All right.
The NFL is partly entertainment.
Didn't happen. It's not the Swifties.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble.
All right. Speaking of the NFL playoffs, who could forget the 2015 deflate gate? Tom Brady would wind up being suspended for 4 games. His New England Patriots fined $1 million after it was alleged that Brady had actually ordered the deflation of balls used in the playoffs. Now we're 9 years later. And apparently we've got Deflategate 2. But this time the Patriots were on the losing side after missing a field goal and muffing a kickoff in the first half of their game against the Chiefs on Sunday. The Patriots had the balls examined during halftime, and it turns out they were deflated again.
This game...
I mean, is this all intentional?
You're always trying to have a little home field advantage.
Yeah.
Whatever sport you're in, whether it's tennis, my sport, or football. But the bottom line is the Patriots stink. Okay, they're one of the worst teams in the league. And the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady duo that dominated for so long, we now see who's winning the argument of who it was really all about. Tom Brady left to go to Tampa Bay, wins a Super Bowl, takes them to the playoffs, rides off into the sunset. So then you've got Belichick there at New England. They're 3-9 or 3-10 in the year. The Chiefs are 9-5. They've won 2 of the last 4 Super Bowls.
Well, that's apparently because they keep deflating balls.
This is a total non-story.
Why?
That game when they did it 9 years ago was the AFC Championship game between the Patriots and the Colts, who had Peyton Manning as their. So this was the 2 big-time guys, and Tom Brady was doing just what he needed to do to get that ball just to his liking, and he got suspended for 4 games the next year. But they won their Super Bowl.
So are we going to see suspensions now? I mean,
no, because nobody cares about this game. It's irrelevant. This game was irrelevant to the grand scheme of things in the NFL. The Chiefs are on their way back to the playoffs. They're not as good as they have been in the last couple of years.
But is it clear they were intentionally deflating balls?
It's not clear.
Okay, is that the issue? I'm asking. I guess I'm being a lawyer, right? I'm being a lawyer. I'm like, what's the intent here? Were they intending to do it?
I don't see what advantage they would have been able to get by deflating the balls. Both teams missed field goals, by the way, in the game, and the A guy who kicked off for the Chiefs normally kicks it into the end zone, and then he kicked it only to 5 or 6 yard line. So right. Oh, something's wrong with the balls.
All right.
But no impact on the grand scheme of what's going on in the NFL, unlike Deflategate 9 years ago.
So thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.